upon watching these numbers is that, man, this movie is going to fall off cliff a
Mhm.
cliff of 78% negative. Negative, guys. That has never happened to a superhero movie, much less a Marvel superhero movie, ever before. It came in fourth. Fourth. After a film that only cost what, 15 million bucks to make, Thanksgiving, which we are going to see on Thanksgiving, by the way. God bless that movie. Uh, it beat it. Vex, what I'm hearing is that the Marvels cost up to $300 million.
Yep.
Wow, wow. Do you have any thoughts there? That's the way I like throw it to people.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, this is
Yeah,
this isn't so much that people are turned off by female. Okay, hold on. It might partially be that because even I do that a little bit where I'll see a female lead and I'm like, because you know why they're there these days,
it
right?
depends.
Um,
It depends. You're absolutely
exactly,
right.
it depends because I've watched a
Mm-hmm.
couple female directed and led movies in recent history, and I'm like, oh, these are great movies. So it's more just whatever Marvel is generally doing with women that turns me off. But again, it's we've had just flop after flop in the MCU since Endgame happened. Now almost we're going on 5 years ago now.
It
Um,
wasn't that long ago, but it seems
right.
like it was forever. The last
Exact because
time.
we've had so
Oh,
much content since then, right? Because Disney Plus launched, and then there were all the TV shows.
you're right.
So all
Mm-hmm.
all the characters that we've come to know and love, they're gone. The way that they decide to build up these new characters is basically gone. I would argue, like even Peter Parker, a little bit, they kind of fudged up building him up. But I also understand because everyone has seen the origin story so many times, so it's like, why visit that, right? But even then, they've still done pretty well with him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Nobody cares about these characters. Captain Marvel was just a shameless cash grab. I know
Mm.
that there's a lot more to the character in the comic books. I don't read comic books personally. Um, I know there's a lot more. It used to be a man, then it was re-envisioned as a woman, and she has a bit more depth and nuance there.
A lot of
Um,
iterations of it, which,
r-
hey, that's fine. I don't care, right?
right.
It's like,
I
what are you going
they
to
real
show me on what that movie though? That first one was just like, what am I watching here?
It's incoherent almost. I it's we rewatched it. I do a weekly show with a couple other YouTubers called Mischief Mayhem Movie where we just kind of review a movie and discuss it. And we did Captain
Hmm.
Marvel the week the Marvels came out, and all of
Oh,
us were just like,
wow.
"What?" Like I didn't even remember because I'd only seen it twice before. Unfortunately, twice before. And I couldn't for the life of me remember anything about that movie. And then watching, I'm like, no wonder I didn't remember
Right.
anything about this movie. There's nothing memorable to
No,
it.
no.
So,
Um, but listen, going back, let's hit the Hunger Games for a second.
okay.
And why you said you're not going to see it, I saw it. It's okay, right? I was pleasantly entertained. My bar was so low. I had no expectations.
Hmm.
But I think ultimately I'm gonna forget most of it. Maybe some of the singing was nice. I don't know what, but the thing that it has going for it is that it's only made for 100 million, and the Thanksgiving weekend is the whole week's upon us. So
Yeah.
just by that, families are going to be going to the movie theaters.
Hmm.
Um, this is not good for the Marvels because Wish is coming in, which I hear is another terrible production. From everything I hear, it's not going to be a good film.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts?
I've heard much the same in all honesty. I think the debut score too on Rotten Tomatoes is pretty close to the Marvels by the
Ooh,
critics as well. Which isn't a good, and I think this is Disney's last major drop before the end of the year, if
right.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because the
Yeah.
next animated film that's coming out is Illumination instead. I can't remember. I think it's Migration or something like that. I really want to see that film. That looks kind of cute.
Are you into musicals and animation?
Animation, I'm fine with. The musicals, it just depends on the movie. I don't usually go out of my way, but if it's an idea I
Hmm.
like, I'll go see it. So, like, I really liked Sweeney Todd when that
Sure.
came out, like 15 years ago
That was
now,
pretty cool. That was pretty
right?
cool.
And I went to the
Yeah.
theater to go see that because I like the idea, right? But
Yeah.
I don't go out of my way immediately. No.
I
So just
will
give
say
me a
that's an
give me
yeah.
yeah.
I will say that's a negative for Hunger Games. It's like clocking in at 2 hours and 40 minutes. I mean, Hunger Games, that what it
What
and
do
it,
you need what do
go
you need
ahead.
that much time for?
What do you
Seriously.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, especially as you get older, man, it's just like I can't. I can't. I can't. Um, but you know what? That being said, again, I did enjoy it way more than I thought I would.
Good.
It's just too long.
I think what makes the Marvels drop even worse, it's not even that
Tell
the
me.
Hunger Games came out the weekend after, is that this is without the competition of Dune 2. This is the best case
Mm.
scenario for the
Oh
Marvels.
my God, you're right. I totally forgot about that.
Because it would be
Good
floundering.
Lord.
Yeah, it would be floundering even harder if Dune 2 kept its release date.
Because the dudes would all went to go see Dune.
And it still would have been killing it for at least 3 weekends at the box office.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And exactly. And yeah, there's just so many good, and you got big stars.
Mhm. And
Very,
it's
go ahead.
meant to be seen on a big screen is the
Yeah.
other thing, right? So it would
Yeah.
have completely just flushed out any IMAX theaters that this movie, The Marvels, would
Now,
have held.
now, hear me out. I'm wondering if Marvel knew they had a dud on their hands with the
Yes,
Marvels,
they did.
and they're looking at
100%
the
they did.
landscape.
Mhm.
Screw it, release it. We because you have to at this point.
Mhm.
Um, and we got Wish coming. We're gonna throw in all our money. Thanksgiving, families,
Mhm.
animation, Wish, 100 years. We're throwing all our
Mhm.
all our advertising dollars behind that. You
Mhm.
think they did that?
Yes,
Mhm,
100%. Again,
mhm,
this movie's been pushed back, I think 3 or 4 times already, and then all the reshoots, and it's again, no hype drummed up about this whatsoever.
mhm,
And I really think that they saw a window of opportunity when the actors and writer strikes were going on. They were like, "Listen, everyone else is pushing everything back. That means that there's
mm,
going to be a bunch of theaters that we can just
mhm.
take advantage of because people still want to go to the movies." Like in the US, I know Regal Cinemas has like that $2 or $20 a month pass where you can see like 2 free movies or something like that.
I don't have Regal, I have Cinemark, and I have AMC.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they offer like a similar
Yeah,
kind of
like a deal, right.
right. So it's like people have paid that money for it, so they're just gonna go to the theater and see anything regardless. So just take advantage of that because I really believe that they saw this film and they're like, "Yo, this is the best case scenario for us right now." So threw it at the wall and hoped something came out of it.
Yeah, nothing came out of it but misery for everyone that went to go see it.
I don't know,
And some Go ahead.
YouTubers are doing pretty well off
I
of
was
it,
just gonna say,
so
my out of the theater, review, I think was pretty brutal, and I'm a nice guy. I I I freaking hated that movie. I came out of there